Well, more and more pubs and clubs across New South Wales are seeking approval to operate pokies late at night. The state's Liquor and Gaming Authority says applications for late night trading have increased since November 2021. According to the regulatory body, venues with extended trading hours almost double the profits per machine compared to those with standard hours. The revelations come as Premier Dominic Perrottet pushes to combat problem gambling and stamp out poker machine-fuelled money laundering. Well, for more on this, I'm joined live now by Tim Costello from the Alliance for Gambling Reform. Tim, thanks for your time this afternoon. Tell me, what are the main concerns for operating pokies late at night compared with any other time of day?
Well, late at night is when people have been drinking, when they're isolated, when they're most at risk, when they're most disinhibited. And that's exactly the most dangerous time, and for pubs and clubs who really are predatory in seeking these licenses, the most lucrative time for them to target people, offer free drinks, get them losing monies they can't afford to lose. And of course, pubs and clubs with pokies don't then cope with the domestic violence that follows, often bankruptcy, even crime, when people realise they've got to try and explain to a partner where their savings have gone and then commit crimes. That's what's so worrying about this.
And the push to operate later is obviously for monetary gain. Just how much profit do venues stand to gain from operating later?
Oh, it increases massively. This just goes with age-old human wisdom. As a teenager, my father used to say, "You're going to be home by midnight, son. Nothing good ever happened after midnight." Now, we can laugh about that, but it's exactly the same principle after midnight, when people are most disinhibited and vulnerable. Nothing any good happens. This is why we've been pushing for limiting the opening hours. People are free to gamble, but there should be limits. It's why New South Wales has the greatest problems in the world, for a simple fact. You have 35% of all the world's pokies in pubs and clubs in New South Wales. You have the greatest accessibility to people who, particularly after midnight, are much more vulnerable. That's what is so worrying about this spike in applications for permits.
So do you think that midnight is around when the cut-off generally you think should be?
Yeah, we say that cut off from midnight, open again at 9 a.m. Like most other businesses, the faux arguments is, oh, what about people who are working different shifts? Oh, we've got to be fair to them. Those faux arguments certainly do not balance out the contribution to domestic violence, to mental health, to people doing financial damage to themselves, and then relational breakdown that occurs. We think this is pure greed by an industry which is extraordinary. For the last 4 elections, Clubs New South Wales have had a MOU signed with both sides of politics, running, their Labor and Liberal, for a government, promising that if they win government, they'll never lift taxes, they won't change any pokies regulations. No other vested interest in Australia, let alone Australian history, has had this sort of power. This is what happens in New South Wales. This is another sign, the spiking of applications of their greed, their predatory greed.
And there's also the issue of the cashless gaming card. There is a push to bring that in. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely what we need. So you've got the New South Wales Crime Commission, the Police Commissioner, you've got trade unions, you've got church leaders, civic leaders saying a cashless gaming card kills 2 birds with 1 stone. If you have to have a card where linked to a bank account and your identity, no criminals will use it. So the billions of dollars of dirty money going through, being cleaned up through pokies, no crimp will be fixed. No criminals will reveal their identity. Secondly, if it's a mandatory cashless card where you've got to lock in your losses, set a time limit, Tasmania is introducing this. It really helps those who are most vulnerable. Most who go don't go expecting to do great damage to their bank balance. If they set a limit before they start gambling with a time limit that then locks them out for 24 hours, they can set the limit. It really helps them be responsible. The only people who are against responsible gambling is Clubs New South Wales and the AHA. They want people to be irresponsible because they know 50 cents in every dollar going through a poker machine comes from someone who is addicted. The cashless card is all about responsible gambling.
And just how bad is the money laundering issue going through pokies in New South Wales?
Oh, it's shocking. So the New South Wales Crime Commission report out about 3 months ago said billions of dollars of dirty money. Dirty money is money of drugs sold to our kids, of burglaries to our homes being cleaned up. You put it through, you get a check from the bar, the police can't touch you, your unexplained wealth when you're very suspect is suddenly got an explanation. It's called, I was playing at the pokies. Billions of dollars. Now, that's suburban and regional pubs and clubs. That's why the Police Commissioner and the New South Wales Crime Commissioner recommends the cashless card. I'm very, very pleased that Premier Perrottet, against the pressure from New South Wales clubs, is considering doing it. I am very dismayed that the opposition leader, Chris Minns, is really just parroting the lines of New South Wales clubs. Chris Minns, you really have a choice. Protecting the community or protecting a predatory vested interest of pokies. The cashless card is the responsible thing to do.
All right, Tim Costello, thanks so much for your time this afternoon.
It's a pleasure.